Let's play a surveillance here. They left one card on top. I'd like to blow up everything. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some blue-white control, focusing on the card Ultima, the brand new board wipe from Final Fantasy. But overall, we're just going to be playing control, and I kind of made a decision to make my intros be really short. And I'm going to break down the deck and talk about the deck a lot more in the outro. So if you want to hear my thoughts about the deck, I feel like that's just a much better place to do it than at the beginning. And I'm going to focus on trying to just get us right into gameplay. So with that said, we're playing control. We're looking to counter spells. We're looking to outvalue our opponent and drag them into the late game using our planeswalkers to win, and maybe even our dragons / whales to finish out the game while blowing up their board and countering things that we find necessary. So with that said, let's go ahead and game. Supposedly this is in the back keep, I would assume. You have a get lost and a way to find other cards, so seems reasonable. Then we'll just pass, I guess. I really don't care what they take out of this pile. Sure. Obviously, it's probably going to be the get lost, but I'm not that worried about it. I kind of want to force him to take the get lost. Sure. Obviously, don't reveal that. Let's just barrel this. They could have another Deep Cavern Bat, so taking this is probably the best option. I don't have a double white source, but I do have an island, so that'll make double white here. So just in case, you know, obviously a second bat comes down, we want to have Ultima, or our opponent is going to concede and we get nothing out of this game. Nice. Really cool. All right. Pretty much same hand kind of as last time, a little bit different. I mean, we still have a get lost, right? Invoke maybe. Oh, equipment, very cool. Man, the bans are so good as I sit here and play blue-white control like a dweeb, but that's fine. Power whenever it attacks, attach up to one equipment. Sure. We're just gonna go ahead and do this. I understand I gotta pay life here, but that's okay. If they play a good equipment next turn and attack with that, it's obviously going to be way worse. Okay, stock up here is huge. Relax. I think I just take... Actually, I guess I do take this, right? So I can play this turn, and then I can play a 10 block down. I don't know if that's too loud. Hold up. For some reason, my, like, board that I use for like my mic audio has entirely changed. I don't, at least Streamlabs makes it look like it changed, but oftentimes Streamlabs is wrong. But also perfect hits, I guess. Go down to 13 here. Player surveil land. We all know that that's good. 3 steps ahead, probably not the best. And now the thing is like, this is where Ultima's so good, because say they blow this up or they shelter by ghost and they get this equipment and stuff back, we can Ultima, which blows up the equipment as well. So third copy of that legendary creature working out well. So it does, during your turn it has flying. Brutal. So I guess here and here, and then just pop this. And then just pass and then counter whatever they play, unless they play a cavern, which I don't think they will. Sure. Play a land. I could go for Biza here, but I think that's just wrong. I think we just pass. Just do this. Maybe they have a second one, but that'd be sick if they do. Wow, they have exactly 2. Sure. We just have to kind of survive this turn, I guess. But we know they took all their cards, right? So we should be fine. This says surveil 2. You may cast an instant sorcery from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Sure. 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 If they play Surveil lands, that might have been a little hasty, but alright, just rip tap lands, cool. Sure. You want to get lost? Well, they Surveil too, I guess, right? So it's not the worst. But I think this next turn is where we're really going to just take the game over. Protection from blue and black. Okay. So I can't bounce it. I could bounce a sword, I guess, but... Let's play a Surveil land here. They left one card on top. I'd like to blow up everything. Reset. That's why Ultima is really good. Oh, they had two of them. Okay. Oh, you may discard a card. You do draw. What a draw, dude. What a draw, huh? What another good draw too. Just play this, I guess. Just back in your hand. Okay, whenever another dwarf you control enters, or whenever equipment you control enters, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Sure. So they kept both there. So this last card might be good. We do have a Horned Lock Whale, so it's fine. I can't attack that. Oh, man. Do I just do that? Because this is an equipment. It's an artifact. It's attached, so it should work, right? Or I can just wait. I think waiting's fine. Let's just pass here. Okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah. All right, yeah. You know what's really cool here? They don't have a Monstrous Rage. I have a protection spell, but I don't know. If I get blown out by a protection spell, I do. Wait. Oh, whatever. And I can attack the Aether Spark. I should have flashed this in, but I just wasn't thinking that far ahead. But yeah, we get there. Very cool. Kind of... It's like weird. It felt like we were always close to dying, but I also felt like I was never close to dying, you know? It's a weird one. We have a counter spell on 3. We have a get lost on 2. We have Ultima to full sweep if we need to. Second one can go. We're obviously looking for the lands here. Green, probably landfall if I had to guess. Delirium, also a good option. Get lost is pretty sketchy against this matchup because the maps can be used to fuel their graveyard. Ooh, breakout into the graveyard. Obviously, they don't get to see that, which that just sucks, right? Because that card's so good. Red, do you have another breakout? Typically how Arena works. We all know that. Ultima going to be pretty okay in this matchup. Showing that. They have another one. Seed of Hope. Interesting choice. One, I guess. I don't know how I feel. Yeah, I understood that turns that on, but maybe they'll overload here and then I can just get lost in it. But at some point, I want to hit breakout again. That sucks. Sweet. Because if they double commit here and they don't have a protection spell, really good card. I like that card a lot. Honestly, in fear of like getting blown out by maybe a protection spell, I was just gonna let that resolve. Keen Eye Curator. So there's like a weird thing. I mean, I guess I just counter this and blow this up, right? Get value off my counter spell. Ooh, Temp Lockdown's also good. Yeah, pass. Probably look to blow something up here. I'll just tank 4 more damage. Oh, they mill that over now. Interesting. Maybe they left it on top to bait my demo field. Force them to have protection. They didn't have anything last time. They were willing to tap out, so just forcing it there. Be a light shatter, which would suck. Screaming Nemesis would be pretty bad. I just didn't want them to get more information. Keen eyes, whatever. Oh, they do nothing here. Surveil. That land draws everything, by the way. Probably dead card. 1, 2. Not enough. Let's tempt. Better watch out. I'm omniscient, dude. I'll get to you. Obviously, I'm joking. He goes up. Maybe they could think there's a potential chance I'm playing Just Sky, and you can technically draw off that, so. But I would probably target Get Lost. Now, Ren, kind of a problem.
I fight for every plane.
Ward.
Allies everywhere.
Nice work, bestie. Okay. Weird situation. When Ren pluses, I probably should just target whatever land they're plussing on, but I can also just ultimate and get rid of this, right? Which puts him down. This is going to be the hardest card for me to deal with at all. I guess so, because that goes back, right? Oh, what a good card. I forgot they could just target a basic, yeah? Sure.
I must fight back.
This is honestly one of the reasons I like Just Sky more than anything. So what, it's got to be like Ultima here? These don't have trample, right? Does this give trample? What do you do at 6? No, you do at 7. I don't know what to do. The Elspeth or is it Ultima? I'll go for Elspeth here, I think. Maybe not the correct decision, but it's a decision I make. King's double strike. I don't know one that gives trample. Should maybe mill. Because I can start grabbing permanents from the graveyard like the fly trap, right? That fly trap's just so good. Alright, sure. Nice land hit. I definitely haven't played this game the tightest I've ever played a game. That's for sure, but I wish I just had a Get Lost to answer the Ren, but it just seems so unlikely here. Will they mill or not? Here's the thing, right? I can't do anything with the Elspeth because if I cast this, it ends my turn immediately. I mean, it's fine if I double block, right? I hope they prioritize Elspeth. That'd be huge. No, they go face. Totally makes sense. I'm at 7. You should definitely prioritize me. We hope they commit more creatures here. They do. Huge. What's the alt? You get an emblem. You may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. Well. Update. Can't really do much about that. Update. I can now do something about it. Destroy a creature an opponent controls mana value 3 or greater. So I can I don't want to give him free draw, I guess, but it's just weird, right? So I feel like destroy it with mana value 3 or greater. So actually I can't do that at all. Okay, so that makes my decision a bit easier. Let's play a Regent. Let's do this one. And then I could do this one, but it does draw them an extra card. But I kind of want to prioritize their biggest creature here. It gets haste, but like 6/7 here. I didn't want them to get an extra draw off of either of these. And if Elspeth can't answer either, then I don't want to even have that option, right? As long as I can stall out long enough to just keep making tokens, I think I'm fine. I have a permanent here, sure. Will they grab this ever? No, they go for this again. So they are prioritizing that draw that we talked about a previous turn. And remember, haste here doesn't matter on these. 2 1/1s is not going to be good enough to attack through this. It's actually going to be really ineffective. Patchwork Bessie. That one does not get haste. The cards only care about the first time they're activated. So, on one hand, I feel like the answer is to get rid of this, right? Like, why would I... But I can do it with my land, right? Which then will make 2 map tokens. So, let's do that. Let's go flying here. Feel like I'm playing a bit tighter now. Pop that down.
My stamina withers.
Let's play here. And then I can plus here. Make more tokens. And then... Honestly, I'm going to cast stock up and see if I can't find some stuff. Sweet. Huge. See, this is the card I was worried about. This Trampler here. Obviously, we're going to have to block with this River Regent. This one pops. Gains haste. This one's still here. And they give up. We stalled it out in a very scary spot where the Planeswalker was so good. I thought, honestly, we were just dead. But the Regent draw was huge. We reset the Wrenn on the alt turn. So, yeah, we get there. Very cool. We move on. I cannot endorse this hand. That's for sure. And we have to just... Oh, man. Can we risk this one? I feel like going to 5 just feels like an auto loss, so I'll try. Play here. Maybe we'll rip a blue source. A white source also does it. Like a plains, like a basic does it. Mono red, maybe. Maybe, oh yeah, I would say maybe it's like some other form. So a little part of me thinks this is the Rakdos Reanimator deck that's been kind of floating around. So no more lives, getting value there. No counterspell. We're going to stock up to try to get our value back. Land, and then what here? Ultima's so good, but we play 4. I didn't put one at the bottom. Elspeth seems wrong. 3 steps ahead also kind of seems wrong. I mean, the land is 100% guaranteed what we're grabbing. I mean, I guess maybe it is Ultima if this is Reanimator deck and they go super, super wide. Yeah, I'm going to grab Ultima. I'm not sure. We're kind of investing into the late game plan. And if there are a lower to the ground deck, even Ultima will be fine there. But I think there's a Reanimator deck. I'm not giving you anything to Bitter Triumph, I'll tell you that. There's 0 chance I'm doing that. Now I feel like the counterspell obviously would have been better, but we're not. There's no point we're guaranteed to ever get that, right? We'll take the land. Another land, okay. They're going to have plenty of basics in their deck. So let's just play the Surveil land here. We already have... Sucks to have to keep that one. We have this for flashback, and then we also have the Fountain Port to make a token if we want to go that route. I think I would only make a treasure token because I do believe they have Bitter Triumph. That is what I'm putting them on. So we'll just take the free draw on that. Now, any more lands? I guess I already have the Fountain Port, but I don't know. I'm definitely not playing incredibly well. I'm kind of just still in La La Land. What'd I tell you? Resolves. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and deck us both, I guess, at this point. Yeah. Bitter Triumph, the card I believe that they have. Gonna be mana efficient here. Again, if I make tokens, it's gonna be treasures. We're gonna play the long game here. And remember, discarding is an additional cost of the spell. So even if I have the counter spell and I make a 1/1, they'll at all points be able to do whatever. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Sure. I mean, I guess it should be here, and we try to draw in their end step, right? Yeah. Try to pop this and draw an end step. Do this so they can't flip over a good card. It's also sorcery speed activation. They can't do anything. Fair enough. Now, do remember with Ultima, there's a bit of a weird thing that we do get to do. I'm going to draw here over making the treasure. With Ultima, it immediately ends the turn. So even if they do have like a lackluster kind of situation, it doesn't really do much for them. Because it ends everything. So they won't be able to get the triggers to happen. At some point I want to win this video game. I'm gonna take both of these. Could go for Beasley or something, but 3 steps ahead seems good enough. This is a hard cast of that. Yeah, we'll do this. We are in the plan of boring our opponent death at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna go for Beasley though. Trigger nothing. I just have a 4/5 that is the best boy of all time. Look at him. Luckily enough, we ripped a counterspell. Honestly, I probably should have went for the Regent. We could go for a copy here, but it's just not going to do anything for us. No more lies can always be played around in this spot, so. And we drew another one anyway, so why does it matter? Combat. 4/5. You don't mean that. You do. You will not hit him. Here. Don't you worry. I'll return this. I'm not returning that. 0 chance. Honestly, I probably could have just debated it, right? So I could normalize it, but they can always duress me. If they remove this, I allow it to happen. There's just nothing I'm doing about it. Okay. Well, they have multiple things. I refuse. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I refuse. Sure. Well, I think that's platinum, and I'm gonna do it, I guess. I feel like it's a good point to stop. I'm not playing the tightest, as if you've seen my video yesterday, you know. You know what I'm going through. So, as that said, yeah. We'll talk about the outro and the deck a bit. Alright, everyone. Here we are. This is the deck list that we currently submitted. I did see somebody playing blue-white with an Ugin in, and they were stacking up. Realistically, it was a 5-0 league or something. But the main thing to take away from this deck list, I think more than anything, is how kind of rotation safe we are. So here, I mean, we can do it super quickly. And if I remember correctly, give me a second, I gotta look at a spoiler. I can't believe they're gonna try to have us edge for eternity. That's crazy. So the shock lands, we do not get them for this deck specifically. We get a blue-black one, a green-red one, a red-white one, a white-black one, and a blue-green one. I only named the colors for people who may be new to Magic-ish, so obviously just naming the lands doesn't quite do it. But they're not any stressed color combination anyway. But most importantly, we have the Surveillance in here, and the only real land we lose is Seacrum Coast. And we could definitely replace that with just playing more anchorages or something, and then maybe having to thin down on these. We actually lose Demo Field, maybe. There might be like another copy of this card somewhere, maybe in Foundations. I have no idea. So, arguably, these cards are the only ones rotating. And Temp Lockdown, you can argue, is not even necessary right now, because Mono Red is just so weak in comparison to what it used to be. But I will say, at least in my opinion, I definitely enjoy playing the Jeskai deck a bit more. Because I think Lightning Helix might have just a good spot in the meta right now where, like, Delirium's so good, and having that Lightning Helix is just going to gain us some extra life and answer some problems that we need. Outside of using, like, a Get Lost with the graveyard decks, letting them use those map tokens to fuel their own game plan just seems a little tough at times. So that is something to take into consideration. The only other thing I'll say when looking out at the future of this deck, you do have to be a bit careful about stock up. There was a interview going on about this card, and the threshold in which the Magic Committee evaluates a card and whether it needs banned or not, if it is 50% play rate or higher, and stock up was definitely over that. But a lot more people think it was just because Izzet was so dominant, and because Corey Steele was so good that stock up found a ton of play. And based on what I've seen in results and whatnot, stock up's play is going to go down quite a lot. Also, if this gets banned, you're out 4 uncommons and you get those back. Like, it's not much of a commitment for one of the best cards in Standard. So I'm not going to feel bad telling you to craft this card. But if you don't have lockdowns for some reason, just don't worry about crafting them. If you get barreled by an aggro deck or whatever, like, so be it. You know what I mean? Like, lockdown's good, but it's not the end-all, be-all. You can definitely just sub it for some other, maybe, like, removal and whatnot like that. Maybe exercise or some other, like, white removal. I was playing Rides in a bit because it also is cheaper and it targets attacking creatures and it exiles them. So that's something you could consider playing as well. With all that said, I hope you all enjoyed. I know it wasn't very long, but, I mean, it was 4 matches. We hit plat. I feel like that's a pretty good stopping point for right now, why we kind of try to figure out more of the meta, and I'm going to take a little bit more time to maybe brew a bit more. But I will say one final note before we do go. Ultima, I do think, is like the brand new Sunfall, and almost the fact that it's better. We did see the one small issue where, like, with Elspeth, it was actually slightly worse because we couldn't activate Elspeth after casting Ultima, so we just refused to cast Ultima. We ended up winning regardless, but that game could have went a little bit differently, and maybe we don't get there, right? But all that said and done, Ultima just being able to blow up all the artifacts and, like, the equipment decks that are kind of scary, the Delirium decks it can pick up, the other, like, synthesizer decks, for example, we don't have to counter a synthesizer necessarily. We just have to counter the counter spell that stops maybe our Ultima, because we just blow up literally everything. Let them bring all the stuff. Let them bring all the synthesizers out, and we'll just get rid of them all, right? So, with that said, longer outro here. I just wanted to kind of bring up some stuff about this deck that matters a lot, I think. And I'm going to start lowering the intro's length and talk about stuff more at the outro. So if you want to hear more about the deck, the outro, I think, is where I'm really going to break it down. I'm just going to kind of, in the beginning, just get more into games right away. So, you know, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.